1 hour to improve your English listening skills.
英文加中文配音，每天1小时，增强你的英文听力。
I need an ambulance right now. I need an ambulance right now.
我现在需要救护车。
I need an ambulance right now. I need an ambulance right now. There's been a car accident on the highway. There's been a car accident on the highway.
高速公路上发生了车祸。
There's been a car accident on the highway. There's been a car accident on the highway. Someone is badly injured and bleeding. Someone is badly injured and bleeding.
有人严重受伤并流血。
Someone is badly injured and bleeding. Someone is badly injured and bleeding. Please hurry, it's a life-threatening situation. Please hurry, it's a life-threatening situation.
请快一点，这是危及生命的情况。
Please hurry, it's a life-threatening situation. Please hurry, it's a life-threatening situation. Can you stay on the line until help arrives? Can you stay on the line until help arrives?
你能在线上陪我直到救援到吗？
Can you stay on the line until help arrives? Can you stay on the line until help arrives? Yes, I'm with the patient now. Yes, I'm with the patient now.
是的，我现在和伤者在一起。
Yes, I'm with the patient now. Yes, I'm with the patient now. He's unconscious but still breathing. He's unconscious but still breathing.
他失去意识，但还在呼吸。
He's unconscious but still breathing. He's unconscious but still breathing. I'm applying pressure to the wound. I'm applying pressure to the wound.
我正在对伤口施压。
I'm applying pressure to the wound. I'm applying pressure to the wound. I hear the sirens coming closer. I hear the sirens coming closer.
我听到警笛声越来越近。
I hear the sirens coming closer. I hear the sirens coming closer. Thank you for guiding me through this. Thank you for guiding me through this.
谢谢你引导我完成这些。
Thank you for guiding me through this. Thank you for guiding me through this. My friend fell while hiking in the mountains. My friend fell while hiking in the mountains.
我的朋友在爬山时摔倒了。
My friend fell while hiking in the mountains. My friend fell while hiking in the mountains. She twisted her ankle and can't walk. She twisted her ankle and can't walk.
她扭伤了脚踝，无法行走。
She twisted her ankle and can't walk. She twisted her ankle and can't walk. We're on the blue trail near the summit. We're on the blue trail near the summit.
我们在蓝色步道接近山顶的地方。
We're on the blue trail near the summit. We're on the blue trail near the summit. Do you have any medical supplies with you? Do you have any medical supplies with you?
你有带任何医疗用品吗？
Do you have any medical supplies with you? Do you have any medical supplies with you? Yes, I have a small first aid kit. Yes, I have a small first aid kit.
我有一个小型急救包。
Yes, I have a small first aid kit. Yes, I have a small first aid kit. I wrapped her ankle with an elastic bandage. I wrapped her ankle with an elastic bandage.
我用弹性绷带包住了她的脚踝。
I wrapped her ankle with an elastic bandage. I wrapped her ankle with an elastic bandage. Can you send a rescue team? Can you send a rescue team?
你能派救援队来吗？
Can you send a rescue team? Can you send a rescue team? The path is steep and rocky. The path is steep and rocky.
小径很陡，而且很多岩石。
The path is steep and rocky. The path is steep and rocky. We're trying to stay in one spot to be found. We're trying to stay in one spot to be found.
我们正待在原地，以方便被找到。
We're trying to stay in one spot to be found. We're trying to stay in one spot to be found. I'll keep my phone line open for updates. I'll keep my phone line open for updates.
我会保持手机畅通，以便接收更新。
I'll keep my phone line open for updates. I'll keep my phone line open for updates. I'm at the scene of an earthquake. I'm at the scene of an earthquake.
我现在在地震现场。
I'm at the scene of an earthquake. I'm at the scene of an earthquake. There are people trapped inside a collapsed building. There are people trapped inside a collapsed building.
有人被困在倒塌的建筑物内。
There are people trapped inside a collapsed building. There are people trapped inside a collapsed building. I can hear voices calling for help. I can hear voices calling for help.
我听到有人在呼救。
I can hear voices calling for help. I can hear voices calling for help. Please send firefighters and medics immediately. Please send firefighters and medics immediately.
请立刻派消防员和医护人员。
Please send firefighters and medics immediately. Please send firefighters and medics immediately. Some victims are bleeding heavily. Some victims are bleeding heavily.
有些伤者流血很多。
Some victims are bleeding heavily. Some victims are bleeding heavily. I'm helping to clear debris carefully. I'm helping to clear debris carefully.
我正在小心地清理瓦砾。
I'm helping to clear debris carefully. I'm helping to clear debris carefully. Do not move anyone with serious back injuries. Do not move anyone with serious back injuries.
不要移动任何脊椎严重受伤的人。
Do not move anyone with serious back injuries. Do not move anyone with serious back injuries. Okay, I'll keep them still until help comes. Okay, I'll keep them still until help comes.
好的，我会让他们保持不动，直到救援来到。
Okay, I'll keep them still until help comes. Okay, I'll keep them still until help comes. The air is dusty and hard to breathe. The air is dusty and hard to breathe.
空气充满灰尘，很难呼吸。
The air is dusty and hard to breathe. The air is dusty and hard to breathe. We're covering our noses with cloths. We're covering our noses with cloths.
我们用布遮住鼻子。
We're covering our noses with cloths. We're covering our noses with cloths. I just got burned while cooking. I just got burned while cooking.
我刚在煮饭时被烫伤了。
I just got burned while cooking. I just got burned while cooking. Hot oil splashed on my arm. Hot oil splashed on my arm.
热油溅到了我的手臂。
Hot oil splashed on my arm. Hot oil splashed on my arm. The skin is red and blistering. The skin is red and blistering.
皮肤发红并起了水泡。
The skin is red and blistering. The skin is red and blistering. Run it under cool water for 10 minutes. Run it under cool water for 10 minutes.
用凉水冲洗10分钟。
Run it under cool water for 10 minutes. Run it under cool water for 10 minutes. Don't apply ice directly to the burn. Don't apply ice directly to the burn.
不要直接用冰敷在烫伤处。
Don't apply ice directly to the burn. Don't apply ice directly to the burn. Do you think I should go to the ER? Do you think I should go to the ER?
你觉得我应该去急诊室吗？
Do you think I should go to the ER? Do you think I should go to the ER? Yes, if the burn is larger than your palm. Yes, if the burn is larger than your palm.
是的，如果烫伤的面积比你的手掌还大。
Yes, if the burn is larger than your palm. Yes, if the burn is larger than your palm. I'll ask someone to drive me to the hospital. I'll ask someone to drive me to the hospital.
我会请人开车送我去医院。
I'll ask someone to drive me to the hospital. I'll ask someone to drive me to the hospital. I'm wrapping it loosely with a clean cloth. I'm wrapping it loosely with a clean cloth.
我正用干净的布松松地包起来。
I'm wrapping it loosely with a clean cloth. I'm wrapping it loosely with a clean cloth. Thank you for the quick advice. Thank you for the quick advice.
谢谢你快速给我的建议。
Thank you for the quick advice. Thank you for the quick advice. My child has a high fever. My child has a high fever.
我的孩子发高烧。
My child has a high fever. My child has a high fever. It's been 104 degrees Fahrenheit since this morning. It's been 104 degrees Fahrenheit since this morning.
从今天早上就持续华氏104度。
It's been 104 degrees Fahrenheit since this morning. It's been 104 degrees Fahrenheit since this morning. He's also very drowsy and not eating. He's also very drowsy and not eating.
他也很昏沉，而且不吃东西。
He's also very drowsy and not eating. He's also very drowsy and not eating. Give him some fluids and keep him cool. Give him some fluids and keep him cool.
让他多喝水并保持凉爽。
Give him some fluids and keep him cool. Give him some fluids and keep him cool. Should I call an ambulance right away? Should I call an ambulance right away?
我现在应该叫救护车吗？
Should I call an ambulance right away? Should I call an ambulance right away? Yes, with that high a fever, go to the ER. Yes, with that high a fever, go to the ER.
是的，发这么高的烧，要马上去急诊室。
Yes, with that high a fever, go to the ER. Yes, with that high a fever, go to the ER. I'll grab his medical records and insurance card. I'll grab his medical records and insurance card.
我会拿上他的病历和保险卡。
I'll grab his medical records and insurance card. I'll grab his medical records and insurance card. We're leaving for the hospital now. We're leaving for the hospital now.
我们现在就要去医院。
We're leaving for the hospital now. We're leaving for the hospital now. Please let them know we're coming. Please let them know we're coming.
请通知他们我们要去。
Please let them know we're coming. Please let them know we're coming. Thank you for helping us so quickly. Thank you for helping us so quickly.
谢谢你这么快帮助我们。
Thank you for helping us so quickly. Thank you for helping us so quickly. I think I broke my arm. I think I broke my arm.
我想我摔断了手臂。
I think I broke my arm. I think I broke my arm. I slipped on the ice and landed hard. I slipped on the ice and landed hard.
我在冰上滑倒，重重摔下。
I slipped on the ice and landed hard. I slipped on the ice and landed hard. My arm is swollen and can't move. My arm is swollen and can't move.
我的手臂肿了，而且动不了。
My arm is swollen and can't move. My arm is swollen and can't move. Don't try to straighten it yourself. Don't try to straighten it yourself.
不要自己试着把它弄直。
Don't try to straighten it yourself. Don't try to straighten it yourself. I'm keeping it still and elevated. I'm keeping it still and elevated.
我正让它保持不动并抬高。
I'm keeping it still and elevated. I'm keeping it still and elevated. Can you send an ambulance to Main Street? Can you send an ambulance to Main Street?
你能派救护车到大街上吗？
Can you send an ambulance to Main Street? Can you send an ambulance to Main Street? The pain is getting worse every minute. The pain is getting worse every minute.
疼痛每分钟都在加剧。
The pain is getting worse every minute. The pain is getting worse every minute. I'll stay seated until help arrives. I'll stay seated until help arrives.
我会坐着等救援到来。
I'll stay seated until help arrives. I'll stay seated until help arrives. I hear the ambulance nearby. I hear the ambulance nearby.
我听到救护车就在附近。
I hear the ambulance nearby. I hear the ambulance nearby. Thank you for sending them so fast. Thank you for sending them so fast.
谢谢你这么快派他们来。
Thank you for sending them so fast. Thank you for sending them so fast. My neighbor collapsed while mowing the lawn. My neighbor collapsed while mowing the lawn.
我的邻居在割草时昏倒了。
My neighbor collapsed while mowing the lawn. My neighbor collapsed while mowing the lawn. He's not responding when I call his name. He's not responding when I call his name.
我叫他的名字，他没有反应。
He's not responding when I call his name. He's not responding when I call his name. Check if he's breathing and has a pulse. Check if he's breathing and has a pulse.
检查他是否在呼吸并有脉搏。
Check if he's breathing and has a pulse. Check if he's breathing and has a pulse. I don't feel a pulse. I don't feel a pulse.
我摸不到脉搏。
I don't feel a pulse. I don't feel a pulse. Start CPR immediately. Start CPR immediately.
立刻开始心肺复苏。
Start CPR immediately. Start CPR immediately. I'm pressing on his chest firmly and quickly. I'm pressing on his chest firmly and quickly.
我正用力快速地压他的胸口。
I'm pressing on his chest firmly and quickly. I'm pressing on his chest firmly and quickly. Keep going until help arrives. Keep going until help arrives.
继续做，直到救援到达。
Keep going until help arrives. Keep going until help arrives. I hear the paramedics at the door. I hear the paramedics at the door.
我听到急救人员到门口了。
I hear the paramedics at the door. I hear the paramedics at the door. They're taking over now. They're taking over now.
他们现在接手了。
They're taking over now. They're taking over now. I hope he pulls through. I hope he pulls through.
希望他能挺过来。
I hope he pulls through. I hope he pulls through. I was bitten by a stray dog. I was bitten by a stray dog.
我被一只流浪狗咬了。
I was bitten by a stray dog. I was bitten by a stray dog. The bite broke the skin and is bleeding. The bite broke the skin and is bleeding.
咬伤破皮，并且在流血。
The bite broke the skin and is bleeding. The bite broke the skin and is bleeding. Wash the wound with soap and water. Wash the wound with soap and water.
用肥皂和清水清洗伤口。
Wash the wound with soap and water. Wash the wound with soap and water. Apply a clean bandage after cleaning. Apply a clean bandage after cleaning.
清理后用干净的绷带包扎。
Apply a clean bandage after cleaning. Apply a clean bandage after cleaning. Do I need a rabies shot? Do I need a rabies shot?
我需要打狂犬病疫苗吗？
Do I need a rabies shot? Do I need a rabies shot? Yes, go to the clinic right away. Yes, go to the clinic right away.
是的，马上去诊所。
Yes, go to the clinic right away. Yes, go to the clinic right away. Bring any details about the dog. Bring any details about the dog.
带上关于那只狗的任何细节。
Bring any details about the dog. Bring any details about the dog. I didn't see where it ran off. I didn't see where it ran off.
我没看到它跑到哪里去了。
I didn't see where it ran off. I didn't see where it ran off. I'm heading to the nearest hospital now. I'm heading to the nearest hospital now.
我正前往最近的医院。
I'm heading to the nearest hospital now. I'm heading to the nearest hospital now. I'll get a tetanus booster too. I'll get a tetanus booster too.
我也会补打破伤风针。
I'll get a tetanus booster too. I'll get a tetanus booster too. There's been a multi-car accident downtown. There's been a multi-car accident downtown.
市中心发生了多车相撞。
There's been a multi-car accident downtown. There's been a multi-car accident downtown. Some people are trapped in their cars. Some people are trapped in their cars.
有些人被困在车里。
Some people are trapped in their cars. Some people are trapped in their cars. Gasoline is leaking onto the road. Gasoline is leaking onto the road.
汽油正漏到马路上。
Gasoline is leaking onto the road. Gasoline is leaking onto the road. Evacuate everyone away from the spill. Evacuate everyone away from the spill.
把所有人撤离到漏油区域外。
Evacuate everyone away from the spill. Evacuate everyone away from the spill. Keep the injured still until rescue arrives. Keep the injured still until rescue arrives.
让伤者保持不动，直到救援到来。
Keep the injured still until rescue arrives. Keep the injured still until rescue arrives. One driver is bleeding from the head. One driver is bleeding from the head.
一名驾驶头部在流血。
One driver is bleeding from the head. One driver is bleeding from the head. I'm applying a bandage to slow the bleeding. I'm applying a bandage to slow the bleeding.
我正在帮他包扎，减少流血。
I'm applying a bandage to slow the bleeding. I'm applying a bandage to slow the bleeding. Police are blocking off the area. Police are blocking off the area.
警察正在封锁现场。
Police are blocking off the area. Police are blocking off the area. The fire department is here now. The fire department is here now.
消防队现在到了。
The fire department is here now. The fire department is here now. Medics are taking over patient care. Medics are taking over patient care.
医护人员正在接手伤患。
Medics are taking over patient care. Medics are taking over patient care. I think I'm having a heart attack. I think I'm having a heart attack.
我觉得我心脏病发作了。
I think I'm having a heart attack. I think I'm having a heart attack. My chest feels tight and I'm short of breath. My chest feels tight and I'm short of breath.
我的胸口很紧，而且呼吸困难。
My chest feels tight and I'm short of breath. My chest feels tight and I'm short of breath. Call 911 right away. Call 911 right away.
立刻打911。
Call 911 right away. Call 911 right away. Chew an aspirin if you have one. Chew an aspirin if you have one.
如果有阿司匹林，就嚼一片。
Chew an aspirin if you have one. Chew an aspirin if you have one. I'm doing that now. I'm doing that now.
我现在正在这么做。
I'm doing that now. I'm doing that now. Try to stay calm and still. Try to stay calm and still.
尽量保持冷静并静止。
Try to stay calm and still. Try to stay calm and still. My hands are sweating and I feel dizzy. My hands are sweating and I feel dizzy.
我的手在冒汗，而且感到头晕。
My hands are sweating and I feel dizzy. My hands are sweating and I feel dizzy. Help is on the way. Help is on the way.
救援正在路上。
Help is on the way. Help is on the way. I hear the siren approaching. I hear the siren approaching.
我听到警笛声接近。
I hear the siren approaching. I hear the siren approaching. Thank you for staying on the line with me. Thank you for staying on the line with me.
谢谢你一直在线上陪我。
Thank you for staying on the line with me. Thank you for staying on the line with me. My coworker cut his hand badly with a knife. My coworker cut his hand badly with a knife.
我的同事被刀子严重割伤了手。
My coworker cut his hand badly with a knife. My coworker cut his hand badly with a knife. There's a lot of blood on the floor. There's a lot of blood on the floor.
地板上有很多血。
There's a lot of blood on the floor. There's a lot of blood on the floor. Apply firm pressure with a clean cloth. Apply firm pressure with a clean cloth.
用干净的布施加稳定的压力。
Apply firm pressure with a clean cloth. Apply firm pressure with a clean cloth. His skin is pale and he's shaking. His skin is pale and he's shaking.
他的脸色苍白，并且在发抖。
His skin is pale and he's shaking. His skin is pale and he's shaking. Keep his hand elevated above his heart. Keep his hand elevated above his heart.
让他的手抬高到心脏以上。
Keep his hand elevated above his heart. Keep his hand elevated above his heart. We're calling an ambulance now. We're calling an ambulance now.
我们现在正在叫救护车。
We're calling an ambulance now. We're calling an ambulance now. The bleeding is slowing down a bit. The bleeding is slowing down a bit.
出血有稍微减少一些。
The bleeding is slowing down a bit. The bleeding is slowing down a bit. He's still conscious but very weak. He's still conscious but very weak.
他还有意识，但很虚弱。
He's still conscious but very weak. He's still conscious but very weak. Paramedics just arrived. Paramedics just arrived.
急救人员刚到。
Paramedics just arrived. Paramedics just arrived. They're taking him to the hospital. They're taking him to the hospital.
他们正把他送往医院。
They're taking him to the hospital. They're taking him to the hospital. I'm feeling severe abdominal pain. I'm feeling severe abdominal pain.
我感到严重的腹痛。
I'm feeling severe abdominal pain. I'm feeling severe abdominal pain. It started suddenly after lunch. It started suddenly after lunch.
午餐后突然开始的。
It started suddenly after lunch. It started suddenly after lunch. I'm also feeling nauseous and sweating. I'm also feeling nauseous and sweating.
我也感到恶心，并且在冒汗。
I'm also feeling nauseous and sweating. I'm also feeling nauseous and sweating. You might need emergency care. You might need emergency care.
你可能需要急诊治疗。
You might need emergency care. You might need emergency care. Should I go to urgent care or ER? Should I go to urgent care or ER?
我应该去急诊还是急诊门诊？
Should I go to urgent care or ER? Should I go to urgent care or ER? Go to the ER to be safe. Go to the ER to be safe.
为了安全起见，去急诊室。
Go to the ER to be safe. Go to the ER to be safe. I'll have someone drive me there. I'll have someone drive me there.
我会让别人开车载我去。
I'll have someone drive me there. I'll have someone drive me there. I'm bringing my ID and insurance. I'm bringing my ID and insurance.
我带着我的证件和保险。
I'm bringing my ID and insurance. I'm bringing my ID and insurance. The pain is getting worse on the way. The pain is getting worse on the way.
路上疼痛越来越严重。
The pain is getting worse on the way. The pain is getting worse on the way. We're almost at the hospital. We're almost at the hospital.
我们快到医院了。
We're almost at the hospital. We're almost at the hospital. My grandmother fell down the stairs. My grandmother fell down the stairs.
我的祖母从楼梯上摔下来。
My grandmother fell down the stairs. My grandmother fell down the stairs. She can't move her leg. She can't move her leg.
她的腿动不了。
She can't move her leg. She can't move her leg. Keep her still and don't try to move her. Keep her still and don't try to move her.
让她保持不动，不要试着移动她。
Keep her still and don't try to move her. Keep her still and don't try to move her. I'm covering her with a blanket to keep warm. I'm covering her with a blanket to keep warm.
我用毯子盖住她，让她保暖。
I'm covering her with a blanket to keep warm. I'm covering her with a blanket to keep warm. Is she bleeding anywhere? Is she bleeding anywhere?
她有流血的地方吗？
Is she bleeding anywhere? Is she bleeding anywhere? No, but her ankle looks swollen. No, but her ankle looks swollen.
没有，但她的脚踝看起来肿了。
No, but her ankle looks swollen. No, but her ankle looks swollen. Help is on the way. Help is on the way.
救援正在路上。
Help is on the way. Help is on the way. The paramedics are checking her leg. The paramedics are checking her leg.
急救人员正在检查她的腿。
The paramedics are checking her leg. The paramedics are checking her leg. They're taking her to the ER now. They're taking her to the ER now.
他们现在要送她去急诊室。
They're taking her to the ER now. They're taking her to the ER now. I'll follow in my car. I'll follow in my car.
我会开车跟过去。
I'll follow in my car. I'll follow in my car. I'm having trouble breathing. I'm having trouble breathing.
我呼吸困难。
I'm having trouble breathing. I'm having trouble breathing. It feels like my throat is closing up. It feels like my throat is closing up.
感觉喉咙快要闭合。
It feels like my throat is closing up. It feels like my throat is closing up. Are you allergic to anything? Are you allergic to anything?
你对什么东西过敏吗？
Are you allergic to anything? Are you allergic to anything? Yes, peanuts. Yes, peanuts.
有花生，
Yes, peanuts. Yes, peanuts. This could be anaphylaxis. This could be anaphylaxis.
这可能是过敏性休克。
This could be anaphylaxis. This could be anaphylaxis. Use your EpiPen immediately. Use your EpiPen immediately.
立刻使用你的肾上腺素注射笔。
Use your EpiPen immediately. Use your EpiPen immediately. I've injected it into my thigh. I've injected it into my thigh.
我已经注射到大腿了。
I've injected it into my thigh. I've injected it into my thigh. Call an ambulance right now. Call an ambulance right now.
立刻叫救护车。
Call an ambulance right now. Call an ambulance right now. My breathing is getting a little better. My breathing is getting a little better.
我的呼吸有稍微好一点。
My breathing is getting a little better. My breathing is getting a little better. I'm waiting for medics to arrive. I'm waiting for medics to arrive.
我在等急救人员来。
I'm waiting for medics to arrive. I'm waiting for medics to arrive. There's a man on the sidewalk who fainted. There's a man on the sidewalk who fainted.
人行道上有个男人昏倒了。
There's a man on the sidewalk who fainted. There's a man on the sidewalk who fainted. He's breathing but unresponsive. He's breathing but unresponsive.
他有呼吸，但没有反应。
He's breathing but unresponsive. He's breathing but unresponsive. Put him on his side in the recovery position. Put him on his side in the recovery position.
把他侧躺到复原姿势。
Put him on his side in the recovery position. Put him on his side in the recovery position. I'm doing that now. I'm doing that now.
我正在这么做。
I'm doing that now. I'm doing that now. Check for any injuries. Check for any injuries.
检查是否有任何外伤。
Check for any injuries. Check for any injuries. I don't see any bleeding. I don't see any bleeding.
我没看到有流血。
I don't see any bleeding. I don't see any bleeding. The ambulance is on its way. The ambulance is on its way.
救护车正在赶来。
The ambulance is on its way. The ambulance is on its way. I'll stay with him until they come. I'll stay with him until they come.
我会陪住他，直到他们来。
I'll stay with him until they come. I'll stay with him until they come. Paramedics are lifting him onto a stretcher. Paramedics are lifting him onto a stretcher.
急救人员正在把他抬上担架。
Paramedics are lifting him onto a stretcher. Paramedics are lifting him onto a stretcher. They're heading to the hospital. They're heading to the hospital.
他们正送他去医院。
They're heading to the hospital. They're heading to the hospital. I was stung by a bee and my arm is swelling. I was stung by a bee and my arm is swelling.
我被蜜蜂叮了，手臂正在肿胀。
I was stung by a bee and my arm is swelling. I was stung by a bee and my arm is swelling. Are you allergic to bee stings? Are you allergic to bee stings?
你对蜜蜂叮咬过敏吗？
Are you allergic to bee stings? Are you allergic to bee stings? Not sure, but I'm feeling dizzy. Not sure, but I'm feeling dizzy.
不确定，但我觉得头晕。
Not sure, but I'm feeling dizzy. Not sure, but I'm feeling dizzy. Lie down and keep your feet elevated. Lie down and keep your feet elevated.
躺下并抬高双脚。
Lie down and keep your feet elevated. Lie down and keep your feet elevated. I'm calling 911 just in case. I'm calling 911 just in case.
我打911以防万一。
I'm calling 911 just in case. I'm calling 911 just in case. The swelling is spreading quickly. The swelling is spreading quickly.
肿胀正在迅速扩散。
The swelling is spreading quickly. The swelling is spreading quickly. I hear the ambulance siren. I hear the ambulance siren.
我听到救护车的警笛声。
I hear the ambulance siren. I hear the ambulance siren. They're here to give me a shot. They're here to give me a shot.
他们来给我打一针。
They're here to give me a shot. They're here to give me a shot. They're taking me for observation. They're taking me for observation.
他们要带我去观察。
They're taking me for observation. They're taking me for observation. Glad I called for help. Glad I called for help.
很庆幸我打电话求助了。
Glad I called for help. Glad I called for help. My brother cut his leg on a rusty nail. My brother cut his leg on a rusty nail.
我的弟弟被生锈的钉子割伤了腿。
My brother cut his leg on a rusty nail. My brother cut his leg on a rusty nail. The wound is deep and bleeding. The wound is deep and bleeding.
伤口很深，并且在流血。
The wound is deep and bleeding. The wound is deep and bleeding. Apply pressure with a clean cloth. Apply pressure with a clean cloth.
用干净的布加压。
Apply pressure with a clean cloth. Apply pressure with a clean cloth. Does he have a tetanus shot? Does he have a tetanus shot?
他有打过破伤风针吗？
Does he have a tetanus shot? Does he have a tetanus shot? Not in the last 10 years. Not in the last 10 years.
10年内没有。
Not in the last 10 years. Not in the last 10 years. He'll need one right away. He'll need one right away.
他需要立刻打一针。
He'll need one right away. He'll need one right away. We're heading to the ER now. We're heading to the ER now.
我们现在要去急诊室。
We're heading to the ER now. We're heading to the ER now. The bleeding has slowed down. The bleeding has slowed down.
出血已经减少了。
The bleeding has slowed down. The bleeding has slowed down. Nurses are cleaning the wound. Nurses are cleaning the wound.
护士正在清理伤口。
Nurses are cleaning the wound. Nurses are cleaning the wound. They're giving him the shot now. They're giving him the shot now.
他们正在给他打针。
They're giving him the shot now. They're giving him the shot now. There's a gas leak in my apartment building. There's a gas leak in my apartment building.
我公寓楼里有瓦斯外泄。
There's a gas leak in my apartment building. There's a gas leak in my apartment building. Evacuate the building immediately. Evacuate the building immediately.
立刻疏散整栋大楼。
Evacuate the building immediately. Evacuate the building immediately. Some people are feeling dizzy. Some people are feeling dizzy.
有些人感到头晕。
Some people are feeling dizzy. Some people are feeling dizzy. Call the fire department right now. Call the fire department right now.
立刻打电话给消防队。
Call the fire department right now. Call the fire department right now. Keep everyone away from the gas source. Keep everyone away from the gas source.
让所有人远离瓦斯源头。
Keep everyone away from the gas source. Keep everyone away from the gas source. We're standing outside at a safe distance. We're standing outside at a safe distance.
我们站在外面安全的距离。
We're standing outside at a safe distance. We're standing outside at a safe distance. Firefighters just arrived. Firefighters just arrived.
消防员刚到。
Firefighters just arrived. Firefighters just arrived. They're checking for leaks inside. They're checking for leaks inside.
他们正在里面检查是否漏气。
They're checking for leaks inside. They're checking for leaks inside. Paramedics are treating those who feel sick. Paramedics are treating those who feel sick.
急救人员正在治疗感到不适的人。
Paramedics are treating those who feel sick. Paramedics are treating those who feel sick. We're waiting for the all clear. We're waiting for the all clear.
我们正在等安全通知。
We're waiting for the all clear. We're waiting for the all clear. I think I dislocated my shoulder. I think I dislocated my shoulder.
我想我肩膀脱臼了。
I think I dislocated my shoulder. I think I dislocated my shoulder. I fell while playing basketball. I fell while playing basketball.
我打篮球时摔倒了。
I fell while playing basketball. I fell while playing basketball. The joint looks out of place and hurts a lot. The joint looks out of place and hurts a lot.
关节看起来错位，并且很痛。
The joint looks out of place and hurts a lot. The joint looks out of place and hurts a lot. Don't try to push it back in. Don't try to push it back in.
不要试着把它推回去。
Don't try to push it back in. Don't try to push it back in. Keep it still and supported. Keep it still and supported.
保持不动并支撑住它。
Keep it still and supported. Keep it still and supported. I'm icing it to reduce swelling. I'm icing it to reduce swelling.
我正在冰敷以减少肿胀。
I'm icing it to reduce swelling. I'm icing it to reduce swelling. Can you get to urgent care? Can you get to urgent care?
你能去急诊门诊吗？
Can you get to urgent care? Can you get to urgent care? Yes, a friend is driving me now. Yes, a friend is driving me now.
能，一个朋友正在开车载我。
Yes, a friend is driving me now. Yes, a friend is driving me now. The nurse is checking my injury. The nurse is checking my injury.
护士正在检查我的伤势。
The nurse is checking my injury. The nurse is checking my injury. They're preparing an X-ray. They're preparing an X-ray.
他们正在准备做 X 光检查。
They're preparing an X-ray. They're preparing an X-ray. I'm feeling very lightheaded and weak. I'm feeling very lightheaded and weak.
我感到很头晕而且虚弱。
I'm feeling very lightheaded and weak. I'm feeling very lightheaded and weak. Have you eaten today? Have you eaten today?
你今天有吃东西吗？
Have you eaten today? Have you eaten today? Not since last night. Not since last night.
昨晚之后就没有了。
Not since last night. Not since last night. You may have low blood sugar. You may have low blood sugar.
你可能是低血糖。
You may have low blood sugar. You may have low blood sugar. Drink some juice or eat something sweet. Drink some juice or eat something sweet.
喝些果汁或吃些甜的东西。
Drink some juice or eat something sweet. Drink some juice or eat something sweet. I'm sipping orange juice now. I'm sipping orange juice now.
我现在正在喝柳橙汁。
I'm sipping orange juice now. I'm sipping orange juice now. I feel a bit better already. I feel a bit better already.
我觉得已经好一些了。
I feel a bit better already. I feel a bit better already. I'll see a doctor to be safe. I'll see a doctor to be safe.
我会去看医生以保险起见。
I'll see a doctor to be safe. I'll see a doctor to be safe. Thanks for the quick advice. Thanks for the quick advice.
谢谢你快速的建议。
Thanks for the quick advice. Thanks for the quick advice. I'm glad I asked for help immediately. I'm glad I asked for help immediately.
很高兴我立刻寻求了帮助。
I'm glad I asked for help immediately. I'm glad I asked for help immediately.
今天的影片就到这里结束。如果你喜欢这种英文练习方式的话，可以考虑订阅我们的频道，然后在底下按赞并分享出去。有什么建议也可以在留言区告诉我们，让我们产出更符合你所期望的影片。我们下次再见，拜拜。